right, all right, all right. Welcome everyone to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. We're going to take y'all down memory lane before we lead out of 2023. So make sure you share this live, enjoy it. I want to thank everyone over there from Facebook, both pages, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and now Instagram. We finally got it working. So before we get started, we're going to go ahead and bring in to share the memories with us in discussion. And remember, the phone number lines will be open. So as soon as you see that phone go across there, you're welcome to call in, join in with us on the memory that we had in 2023. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring in our assistant co-host all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. He's movie director, actor. I'm telling you, he's like a gumbo. He's everything in one. Mr. Britton. Hello, mister. How are we doing? I think you're muted.
Yeah, I was. See,
you go. There you go.
I'm just like so excited. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
First of all, I'm always glad to be here with you. That's an excitement in itself. But I am just lit. I'm telling you.
Yes, I am too. I mean, I was so excited going through everything and seeing just the path that we have taken has been such a joy. I'm telling you, such a joy. So it's like, as we get ready to revisit this, I mean, it's going to be a joy because it's not just us growing as a family, but also bringing in, new people on, new viewers on, how they have interacted with us throughout the year. That has grown, and I mean, it's been so much joy.
Right.
Thank you, China. Thank you. And joining in right now, Mr. Harris. How we doing, Miss China? We also have Miss Honey looking on with us. And as we keep going, the more people will be joined. So make sure that you share this live so we can get others to come on in and share this memory with us. Now, I know you came in after us because the first one to come on was, Mr. Dwight Robinson, which is the actual host. Mm-hmm. And, he has been with me for years now. And it's just been such a growing period with me and him, with bringing other people on to join in with the conversation, as we talk about real life situations. What was it like when you was brought on to the show here?
Well, for me, it was a big thrill. I had met you at a time when I was doing a film with another director. You interviewed us. I thought you were dazzling then. And when I got a call, and you were alluding to the interest in me coming on, that just blew my mind, first of all. Second of all, to come on this team and join this family was nothing short of amazing. You know what I'm saying? You always want to feel like you want it and you love it. And I get all of that from you guys. I hate missing when I have to do other things because I love doing this show with Spicy and everybody else. This is it.
Yes. And I mean, it was such a joy and an honor when you accepted, because we had to look at you first and see what you could bring. Mm-hmm. And like I've explained to a lot of people, you can't just say, well, I want to be on and then I just bring you on. I observe people's, character. I observe how they stand, what they represent, how they, the images, especially on social media, because you got to be careful. Mm-hmm. People out there, they are quick to criticize you no matter what you do. That's without right. Any, justification, validation, or even evidence. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. We know that all too well.
Yes, I do. And the thing about it is, when you was brought to me, like I said, I tell each one of, the family members here bring such a flavor to the show. And, we just want to bring what's real and give the education. But, things been thought of. And I realized even through our journey, we're not just reaching out, helping people all over the world, but things that we have discussed and people have called in on, we have also learned from them as well. Do you feel the same way?
I do, absolutely, absolutely. Every time I'm on the show and we talk about some of these tough, gut-wrenching topics, what it's my treatment as well. It brings a lot to me. It gives me a lot of insight on who I am. It allows me to continue to face my demons. And what I find really amazing is the fact that, you know, the people that we bring on the show, we share some of the same pains and history that they do. And, I find it just exhilarating when they just open up to us and we're able to help them. But what they don't know is that they're helping us as well.
Exactly, exactly. That's why, like I said, when people interact with us, it brings me so much joy because that's just an extra person to, add to our heart that it would also teach us things, but also learn from us as well. We have went from domestic violence, we have went from music artists, actors, and, just, ordinary people or people that we have shared in a life that they invited us in, when they have lost a loved one. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that has been a privilege. This year I could say we had our ups, we had our downs, we had our laughters, we had our disappointments, and we had our joyous moments, you
That's right.
know. And it's been a great adventure for all of us. And I'm telling you, it's a blessing. It's really a blessing. So, going down the line, before we actually get into the clips and showing some of the memory, you know, each person on this panel, like I've expressed to you, I love the way you stood. You seem like a lower person, down to earth. You bought that soul, that soul food that like it's like saying, okay, this is back from the wisdom, and this is what I needed, that flavor. But you were a type of person that just like to love and to accept love. And that's what I liked about you when it came down to here, along with the dancing, because I know you love to dance. I was like, hey, go Mr. B. So it was a joy. But when you say, when you met Dwight and Denise, which are the host and the assistant
Right.
host, what was your feeling when you first met them?
Hey, listen, crazy. And I'm talking about Denise.
Yes.
So let me start with Miss Lady. Queen is something else. In fact, I really admire uh, her insight. I admire the way that she tackles topics. She's not afraid to attack a topic and either be right or wrong. She don't care, indifferent. In fact, she'll come back if she thinks she was wrong, and she'll correct herself. And I like all of that about her. Denise is this, she's woman, she's queen, just like you, both of you all are cut from the same cloth. Queen.
Yeah, and I agree.
But I
You
got to
know,
say this about Dwight, though.
yes,
I'd
yes.
be remiss if I don't hit my man. Dwight not now, and I saved him for last because Dwight is my man.
Mm.
That's my main man. You know what I mean? When it comes down to, I envision us doing many, many more things together, all of us, but I love working with the Dwight. I love it. That's my guy. So he brings so much to the table, and he's so kind and generous.
Mm.
Dwight is like, you know, uh, I'm right there with him, but Dwight has been with you forever. He's kind of like your co-host, and and you would think that you would be intimidated, you know what I'm saying? But he embraced me, you know what I'm saying? He treats me like a brother. I feel like a brother when he and I have a conversation. I love you, Dwight. You my guy, man.
Yes, yes. And I have to agree with you because, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna speak on Denise first. She was brought in second, and like with Denise, is that we didn't both realize till way later on that we actually went to the same high school together.
Mm,
And so when I met Denise, it's like I loved when I call her my mouthpiece, is because
yeah.
she's very outspoken. She doesn't back down.
Mm-mm.
But she also loves with all her heart. But you're going to know that she meant what she said and she said what she meant.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And that's just the bottom line.
That's
But,
just
Denise won my heart because, the way she brings, her opinions and her insights and her experience to the platform, It just nourishes it, in a way to where people actually catches their attention. She catches their attention, and I love that about her. She know how to have fun, but she know when it's time to get down and dirty.
That's right.
And when it comes down to Dwight, I never knew, I never had in plan to have such a family that I have within this platform. Because, like I said, I started off with just myself. And, I never planned on doing this because it was actually the DJ disc jockey from 1480 KSHL, Dre Coop. He that said, I think you should have your own show. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about no show. He's
Mhm.
like, Spice, you got the voice, you got the attitude, you got the experience. So, it's like, you know, I never planned to do this, but it's like people seeing things in me that I didn't even see, you know. So, when it came down to Dwight, you know, he came on during, I think it was one of our mental health months. And we actually had a show. And with the show, I people don't realize I'm watching you, I'm feeling you. I'm just not listening. You know, I don't just have you on a guest at times, but I actually was watching him. And when I seen how he stood and how he listened, how he observes, how he has compassion, you
Mhm.
know, to be a young man as him and be, I want to say flexible because he does all those stretches and stuff that just make my back hurt when I see him. But he's the type of person that looks at things from both sides when it comes down to the perspective. And that's what I liked about him.
Mhm.
And when I sat back and I looked at it and I said, you know what? I'm a woman. And there's nothing bad or wrong with that. But as a woman, you know, the world needs to also hear the man's side of the perspective. So I was like, you know what? I need to bring a man in here, to help, just bring a different perspective that people can actually understand and actually hear that, you probably don't even realize at times. So, in that, it's like Dwight brought that flavor. And when he accepted to come on, it was like, it was such a joy. It was an honor. And he's been rocking me with me ever since, and it's been like a dedication
Mhm.
to where now he didn't grew to where he's going to be moving to another level as people get to watching him. So, I love both Denise and Dwight for what they bought. It came to a point to where we wanted to grow even more. So in that growth, that's when we I got to meet Keisha
Mhm.
and King D.
Mhm.
You know, uh, Dwight brought Keisha on, and Denise brought the King D on. And when I observed them, it was such a sweet thing with them too.
Mhm.
So when you had your personal connection with them, what did you think about it, especially Keisha? Because I mean, she has an interesting stance.
Well, Keisha is a fireball. Keisha a fireball. I mean, it's like when I first met her, when I first heard her, and she attacked the subject with so much intensity. I mean, she wasn't overbearing, but she was like at it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I think she'd be cheating when we be doing games, but that's neither here nor there. But 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 she did her thing. I think it was one of the first time I saw her, and we were dealing with a topic, and she came with a perspective that was so profound. And me being somebody that worked in the field of recovery and mental health, dealing with the mind. You know what I'm saying? I get analytical sometimes, and I was just listening to her, and I was like, "Oh, she popping." So yeah, and she's a great, great person, great human being. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and before I get my insight on Keisha, I do want to say because a lot of people don't realize they see Denise and they see this woman that's very outspoken and give good insight, but also behind the business, Denise stepped up boldly and without hesitation when it comes down to the powerful poet of the year. When it comes down to the gift baskets, when it comes down to topic ideas, she's like on it like this, you
Yeah.
know, and she's quick to just say, "Here, I'm gonna help you with this." And then, she'll come in and say, "No, we need to get everybody to come help."
Hmm.
I like because she's a team player.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
now, when it came down to Keisha, I mean, my heart melts when it comes down to Keisha because I mean, like with Keisha, she's a sit back and she observes and she looks at everything from each angle. But what I like about her is when she do approach a matter, she approach it with the utmost respect
Hmm.
and grace.
Hmm.
But it's to a place to where you don't feel attacked and you actually have you can your attention goes to her. It's
Right.
not in a defense mode, and that's what I love about her because the things she brings and the things that she say, it actually makes you sit there and be like,
Hmm.
okay, I didn't see it that way, and that's what I like about her. Now with King D, King D is the youngest one of the bunch, and what I like about King D is that, you know, he's not that normal youngster that you see in
Nah.
the world today.
Nah.
He's a very devoted father, and that's what I love about him is his heart for his family. You know,
Hmm.
he does take his time to go out, but it's not every weekend, it's not every day, because he puts his children first.
Hmm.
And to be so young and devote his life to one woman and to his children, I love that about him. But he also brings the comical side, and also to be so young, he brings some wisdom that actually makes the older people think.
Right. Right.
So your perspective of him.
So, actually, you said a great many things that I would say about him, other than the fact, for me, as an older brother, it was refreshing to hear this young brother be as entrenched in his family with the family values, raising his family. I've heard him. We be all, when and backstage, I can hear him talking to the kids, and he does it with so much love and education and and wisdom. At a young age, I mean, he does me proud. He makes me think of a saying, and I've always said that my goal is to discover the possibility of more possibilities, and he makes possibilities so endless. Because when you see, in our world today, what we're looking for and what we're trying to do is bring our kids back. We're trying to keep our community safe, keep our young black kings safe, and you know what I mean. And this brother here, he brings you that perspective. He allows you to see that not all our brothers are slanging and banging.
Mhm.
Not all our brothers are trapped up in the system. Not all our brothers are out here doing just foolishness, sagging, the whole 9 yards. This brother here is a polished young brother that's gonna go far in life. Mark my words.
Yes. And I'm very proud of him, and I watched King D for a while, 'cause for a while he was real, real quiet. But then
Hmm.
when he got to know the family and getting there, he talks now. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but I mean, I got to be honored and feel flattered because to be so young and want to get involved in a platform such as ours that's grounded on domestic violence, I mean, you got to say, you give your hands up for him. Now, the next person that came in was I think it was a Mr. Jones.
hmm.
And Mr. Jones, I've been watching him for a while, and I met him actually on TikTok. And at first we didn't kind of, we looked at each other, we seen each other, on the app or whatever. But to actually say when we got involved in conversation to actually see what kind of bonding and friendship we had, you know, it was long after I was on there for already a year. But I used to watch him because he actually DJs on TikTok. He brings in the vibe, and they also have conversations to where they, educate and enlighten, and bring awareness to other people that watch TikTok. So it's like with Mr. Jones, what I liked about him is his strong-minded stand. You
Hmm.
know, he doesn't back down, but he also know how to have fun. He know when it's a time to get serious and when the time is not. But he also take the time to listen. He might not agree or he might agree because no matter what, he gonna stand on what he said, and that's all it is.
I like
But
it.
to bring that flavor to this platform has been a joy, and I mean, he keep us laughing all the time. So, what do you think about our DJ?
That's my DJ. Where he at anyway? Because I need to tell him, Mr. Jones, hit me with my theme music. Hey, Dig, that's my brother. You know what I mean? And he is. You colored him right. He's a very strong brother. He's a very passionate brother, a brother that's controversial. He doesn't mind being controversial when we talk about specific topics. It is what it is. If it's blue, it's blue with him. And even when he's not quite on point, he's on point because it came from a place of sincerity.
Right.
My perspective may be different than his, and what I liked about him, I tested this theory. Because he and I are both pretty strong brothers in what we say, and so I tested it, and I had objected, or I played devil's advocate, and this brother saw my point of view, and I liked the way he handled it because he said, okay, well, I see your point of view, but I'm still sticking with what I said. And I liked it. I like that because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, you're sure. You
Besides
sure.
that,
You're
that's my
sure right
guy.
about that. You sure right about that. Because I mean,
That's my guy, though. You know what
one
I'm saying?
thing, if you want to say, he ain't afraid.
No, he ain't scared. No,
I
I
don't know
like that.
his fears, but I know one thing: if you want to get in that ring with him, trust he's willing to step in there without any hesitation.
Yeah, that's what I like about him because we both uh, pretty much cut that way.
Hmm.
Mine comes from a little how can I say this? Kind of a little different angle, but he there. He there. He like Rocky Balboa with his acting. You know what I'm saying? Mine is a little Sugar Ray like, but he coming at you with some Rocky stuff, and I like that.
I would have gave him more like what is it? What is it? Muhammad.
Yeah, yeah, that too. That as well. That as well. So yeah, a great guy. Great guy.
Yes, yes. And before we actually go to break to see some of the memory, we got our last one we brought in to seal the deal with the family, and
Yes.
that's our Miss Honey. Now, I met Miss Honey on TikTok, and it's very funny because, it's like this woman I didn't realize was kept trying to reach out to me, kept trying to reach out to me, and it's like I wasn't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? You know, but she's a great supporter. No matter what you do, she got your back. You
Mhm.
know, when you meet Honey, she's she appeared to be quiet, but she's loving. And that's what I sensed when I met her. It's the love, because I was going through a period of storm in my life. And that's why I say God places people in your life sometimes as a reason and a season. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
And to pull you out of things that he sees that you're not removing those foggers on.
Hmm.
And when he plays Honey, Honey came in a dark place in my life. And it was just like she had my attention. And when I seen her, it was just like her arms was like this. She's very loving, very supportive. She's a great listener, but I tell you what, when it come down to it, she'll tell you, look, I think it's best you better back off. She's a firecracker, explosion and all. But
Right.
when it comes down to knowing Honey, all you see is just love. And just like anybody on that app, we all been through little defamation, slander, you know, certain relationships that failed because they didn't want to do right or they was abusive. But there's one thing I could say when it came down to the comparison with me and Honey, she stood strong. And right when she seen the red flag. She was like, I love this person, but I gotta go. And that's when I knew that she, you know, looking at her, I know that she was the right person when it came down to domestic violence. The right person to say, that people could see love, support, understanding, and someone that actually know how to stand behind a word when it comes down to being loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was your feeling when you met our last one that came in a bunch?
Crazy as a roll lizard. No, Miss Honey, just like her name, she's sweet as can be. But I got to tell you this: not only is she sweet, but Honey kind of like threw me for a loop because she was real quiet, real reserved. But then it was one week, all of that changed, and I saw her for who she really was. If I had to describe her, I would describe her as a female panther. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It's like she kind of stalks the scene a little bit.
yes.
Don't play with her. Don't play with her now because she's stalking. She listening. She like, and then she gonna get you.
Because
She
she
gonna
be
get
like, I see you. I
yeah,
see you.
she gonna get that behind. Not only has she stood me up, she ain't came and took me to lunch or nothing like that. I've been in Atlanta now for a hot minute. She ain't called. She ain't said. She said she did, but okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, honey, you owe me lunch or something. Uh, 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 roll something.
Yeah, because I know Honey right now, she is on vacation. She been very sick, so she been having her best friend, which is like a sister to her, that's been caring for her. We've been checking on her.
Get well.
She said stop, but I do remember she said she called you, but I think you was in a rush because you did me the same way you did her. I called you because Maserati contacted you and you had the wrong person. Then she's like, okay, I'm on my way, and it was like,
Yeah.
but you have so much going on, and people don't realize how busy as a director and an actor that you are, to
Oh my
where
God.
there's times when you're in the midst of right, you forget, and
I
it's not
forget. And
intentional.
and, and
Yes,
when it hit me, I was like, oh, that's
yes,
Maserati Red. I know who this
yeah,
other
because you
woman
told
is.
me,
That's spicy. So,
yeah,
oh,
you
that
thought it
was
was
Maserati.
Honey, because I said,
Yeah.
do you know who you was talking to? You said, yeah, Honey. I was like, no, you
No.
wasn't.
And then, yeah, I thought it was honey. I'm like, okay. But
Yes,
I thank you. I thank y'all so much for being tolerant of me. And you're right. You do so much. You do more than people can imagine. You've been through a lot, and you do a lot. And you're one of my champions as well. You're one of my heroes. I'm probably I'm probably I'm probably one. You don't know it, but I'm probably one of your biggest fans. I
oh.
want to say number one, but I can't. I know your kids got that, but I am one of your biggest fans, and I think so much of Spicy Gray. In fact, I tell all my crew, my cast about you. I'm like, okay, y'all better get y'all things straight because if Spicy call for you, y'all gonna have to be tight. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're great, and I love me some honey. Honey, get well, sweetie.
Yes, yes, yes. That's my baby. And see, what I love about this family is that, when it come down to it, we know how to come together. We might have a disagreement or agreement, but we know how to come together and we still love on one another, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But we put everything to the side so that we can love on our viewers in order to get across what we need to get out there.
That's right.
So, in saying that, we're gonna come back here because we're gonna go ahead and view our first memory down memory lane. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I really hope y'all enjoy this. So we'll be back right after this. What has it been like since the last time y'all been on a show?
So, since the show, we've done the rally forum that you mentioned. We've done a couple protests. We've had celebrations in his honor for his birthday. We did a 1-year anniversary of being in heaven celebration. Just what happened to him go without justice, to make sure that we keep the focus and that we stay strong. We have to do this. It's really not. We have to remember that if the tables were turned, he would be an advocate for us. So we just have to continue to be strong and advocate for him and keep his name alive and share his story until he gets justice.
There's people in our life that inspire us. Like Maya Angelou was my inspiration when it came down to poetry. Who was your inspiration when it came down to music?
I always liked Patti LaBelle. Was always my favorite singer. Her and Barbra Streisand were probably the most influential singers in my life. My basis was gospel, so I probably sing gospel better than anything else that I do.
In the room, you want to hang, yo.
We're good. Give me my phone, bro. Don't
Where's the conversation you want to hang?
Where's the conversation? Get out my
He said,
phone.
what's the conversation?
Don't touch me. I'll call the police over.
Phone. And this is what kills me, because I thought it was he was on the phone with his mother first, but he's on the phone with his uncle this whole entire time. So it's not just the children that gotta live with that sound and seeing their dad, but the uncle's on the phone with him.
Why is she
up to his last moment?
But do you know why is she not being charged with accessory to murder? I've seen people.
All right. Now we're gonna do our first call. Let me put my other eye. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, this is Spicy Gray from the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. Is this Rita?
Yes, this is she.
Hi, Rita. We are here to congratulate you on your Mother's Day gift basket. You are the first winner.
Really?
So congratulations. The bigger loss is a 6-year-old daughter that she's leaving behind. You know, beautiful little girl. She was doing all this for her daughter to bring her a better life, a great life, you know, and it's really sad that, you know, she was taken from her like this, but I know that she has a great support system, and I know the family would never let her forget her mother. So, little Nevaeh, a gift package from us in honor of her mother.
He was 15. He wasn't a man. He was somebody's child. He was just a kid being a kid.
After prayer, they went down Wilkins, where the teens were killed, to bring it back to the forefront of the community's mind.
We're not going to be at ease until we get justice. And that's what I want. I want justice for my son.
No parent should ever have to bury their child.
Not at all.
It has not.
My child and his best friend got shot.
I know there's gonna be some brighter days. I swear that love will find you in your pain. I feel it in me like the beating of life in my veins.
In a million years would I have imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and then arrested.
I'd give you anything.
Wow. Now, looking at that, I mean, it touches my heart because, you know, we never thought that we would, you know, because we didn't want to just base everything, even though the Unspoken Heart evolves around domestic violence. We didn't want to just stick with just domestic violence. You know, we wanted to invite other things of the world in that would touch other people's heart, but also to help us to support and love one another. You know, it was very touching and shocking to me when I had people reach out to me to tell their story and fighting for justice. And, you know, when we talk about Tyrone Ciro, you know, and believe it or not, you know, even with Sayana Tucker, you know, we still in communication with each other. You know, I could say with Sayana Tucker, you know, the young girl, guy, like I think it was 14 or 15 years, we don't feel like it's enough. With Tyrone Ciro, you know, There's been plea deals thrown across the table. There've been, other things going back and forth for them to fight for justice. But, to go through this, one, it touched my heart. But two, for these families to invite us into their world, to stand as a part of their family, and to still keep in contact with me and keep me updated, that means so much to me. So, when it came down to that, and then, with, also the young man that was murdered with his best friend, it's hard to swallow. And, uh, some people that watch us, they think it's easy for us to do those type of shows. And it's not, because we have cried. We have shared moments in privacy with the family, before the show. And, people, ones like me, King D, we personally lost our children. I don't know about Mr. Britton or anybody, and God forbid anything like that. But, to have lost a child and be able to be invited into the life of ones that say, I need you to help me. I'm sharing my life with you. It's like you actually, when you get involved with this family and you share this journey with them, it's like you actually know the person that passed away, and it's not easy. So in that, what was your feeling in experiencing with this part of the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour?
Wow. Every week that I participated or watched the show and dealing with trauma, first of all, working in the field, I dealt with so much trauma. I worked in Cincinnati with with the crew that were responding to shootings. So I was always involved in, seeing death, and I'm telling you, it doesn't get any easier. Hearing about abuse, the trauma that's placed upon, whether it's a man or a woman, abuse is abuse, murder is murder. And it's so sad when it's young people that are involved, particularly young African Americans. It's bad. We're killing each other at an alarming rate. And when we talk about the domestic violence piece, listen, that's a subject that doesn't, get any easier to deal with, because there's some quiet storms brewing. Me, myself, it gives me the opportunity to continue exercising my own personal demons. I share, and this is the thing about this show, Spicy, is that it allows, us to be able to speak out about our own trauma, and we can relate. And I think that's why our guests and the people, the families of our guests, they trust so much in you, because all of us get a chance to really like fight those demons that face us. For instance, I was molested twice by the age of 8. So when I'm on this show and I'm talking to a woman and she's been molested, I can sympathize and empathize with her, and I know what that's like. I'm just not sitting here talking. I know what that feels like. I know how horrific that is to live with something. Men, particularly Black men, it happens to us. And I lived in silence with that secret for a number of years. And it helped define, some of the more tragic times in my life. It was the author of those, because I was so hurt. I didn't have an outlet. I didn't know what was going on. I had questions. Here on your show, on our show, we get a chance to be honest with each other, with our guests. We get a chance to hopefully help them through, and that's what I like about our panel, because we're so diverse. Like, I come from a mental health background. So when I hear certain things, I'm able to bring certain questions. And it seems as though those guests are always like grateful that question was asked, because I was. Someone asked me years ago, what happened to you? And the floodgates opened up. I just boo-hooed, because I had been waiting. I had been waiting for so long to share this secret. You know what I mean? And that's what happens to many of our women. They sit around in domestic violence situations and they can't share it. They can't share it. They're afraid to leave the situation. Look at me. I go there with this. It's it's just like it's terrible. It's terrible, which we do know that, but for the lack of a better word, I say terrible. It's something that we can't stop fighting. We cannot close the doors to making ourselves available. And that's what you do with this show. You make it available for them to call because somebody's viewing this, somebody's at home watching this that may be in that position, that may not know a way out, and we just gave them a way out.
Yes. And I appreciate you for that, and it's like, some people just, and as this journey went on, there's people I ran into that don't take what we do serious. Mm-hmm. And I have to look at it because, that's just like with poetry, I come from poetry, and that's why we do the poetry contest because I come from that spot and we don't get enough acknowledgement. We don't get enough, of achievements in what we have done. And that's why I said I want to open this panel up. I want to make it further than what it was. But my thing is that I've been there. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a mother to listen to me. I didn't have a father to embrace me. I didn't have that. Mm-hmm. And going through it, it's embarrassing, humiliating. And then you have people that make a joke out of it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And so I want them to know that, look, we're here. You got our ears. You got our heart. We understand. And plus, we're going to give you the resources so that you can get the help that you need.
That's right.
And I thank God because even some of the people that's been watching us, they have contacted me. They have had hours of conversation with me in order to seek that way to escape.
Right.
And the one person I could give credit to is my father because, it's just like me and Honey was talking last night, I think it was. And we were saying, like how some people say, well, I wish I could do what you're doing. And I look at him or I just sit there and I'll be like, do you want the crosses that I bear to get here? Because in order to be molded into what God purposed me to do here, I had to go through those storms. Mm-hmm. The bricks being thrown at me, being stabbed. I had to go through all that. Because and the reason why he allowed that is because he was molding me for his purpose.
Right.
We have, we have all shared so many emotional periods on here because, even with Dwight, I know he toughens it up, but when we did Sienna, and even with Tyrone Ciro, I found myself just breaking and it's hard. And that's why I say some people don't understand this here is not an easy job for us.
No.
There's times that some of the cast wanted to say, look, I don't want to do that no more, but we got to. And this is what I expect. We got to do this. Now, if you don't want to, let me know. Then we'll switch people around. We'll get somebody else, give you that break until you strong enough in order to bring that. Because you got to look at, a lot of people say, oh, she's healed. She's overcome. No, we still deal with the process. Right. The flashbacks. We just learned how to hold it down, how to find other tools in order to get that healing feeling. Mm-hmm. We still go through, but we understand. That's why I say, going through this, we also learn from our viewers as well. We learn from each one of us will learn from each one, from one another, And, I never thought that I would have such a family that I have with y'all on here. And it's nothing but joy. I love each and one of y'all. And that's from the heart. Everything y'all bring is nourishment. I stay quiet on a lot of the reviews and responses I get, but there came a time to where I had to say, wait a minute, you do make a difference. Let me tell you what this person said. Let me tell you what the network said. You matter. And so, each one of them, even you, just have such a big part of my heart to where it's like, I'm good. I'm locked in with the family I got. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, you're not leaving me.
That's right.
But going on to the one you brought to me, and I know she reached out to me because she was well known in the community worldwide, and she still contacts me. Oh, she did. Every time I see her name in her conversation, she just make me smile.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard for me to say her name right. So I'm gonna let you pronounce her name.
You pronounce it right.
But we've seen her on here.
You talking about Tab?
I think she said
Tabethia,
because I was calling her Tabitha at first.
Yeah, no,
Tabethia.
So Tabethia, yeah, and that was such an honor to, and you all have, seemingly become real close friends, and I like that. I enjoy that because she has so much to offer, and you gave her a way to talk about her experience. And, of course, she has her book that's just been launched. She's doing some great things. She's a phenomenal singer. Just a phenomenal human being in terms of both the industry of entertainment and the health sector, the social sector. She's a big advocate for domestic violence. And, she beats the drum. Her and her mother, Miss Darkest. So if y'all ever hear me say, "Hi, Mama Darkest," that's my bonus mama. They better not say nothing about it. Miss Darkest is my girl. And she raised a good child. She raised a good woman.
And I have to notarize that because, when I first met her, she brings you, she don't make you question her stand. Because the warmth that she brings immediately when you hear her voice,
mm-hmm.
I couldn't help but fall in love with her and just open with her. But, to be a part of her path and before she released Broken Pieces, because I can't wait to get that book.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
It was such a joy, and to know that all the achievements that she accomplished in life, in her path, the people that she got to stand with, it was such a joy to be a part of that path with her.
Yeah, yeah. And she's amazing. She does so much, on that same note, just to piggyback on what you were saying. She's even my publicist, to a degree. She's my publicist, and she manages. I think she said she's my career manager.
She says.
Yeah, she says. But she does so much in terms of, the graphic arts for me and that type of thing. And just, just calling me out the blue and saying, "Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Keep your head up, keep doing what you're doing." Her mother will spank me if I say something crazy on Facebook. So yeah, she's such a blessing, and I know that they, that they really relish the relationship that they have with you, Spicy.
Oh, I appreciate that because, some people don't realize a lot of them that come on, you see them as guests and you think they're coming and gone. They still reach out to me. I mean, it could be months in the middle of the conversations, but they still check on me. They still, keep updates. They still, they'll send me a happy birthday, happy Thanksgiving, Christmas. And, it's nothing but love. And I got to say, I thank God for the love he put in me to where they can also see that love to where it's never a question. When I say, I love you. If I don't love you, I'm just going to get quiet.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So in saying that, we're going to go to our next one. So let's see what we had in memory, because I'm going to tell you, these cats, I had to sit back. They can sometimes make you crack up and laugh, and they don't realize the things they say. So we'll be back right after this.
Have a happy New Year.
How you doing there, man? What's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, let's roll. What's happening with it?
We kicked the women out for a whole month. We running this thing now.
We gonna run this town tonight.
No, what we gonna talk about? What do men really want? Things like that. And we really do want a serious relationship. Some of us do, and even find a wife harder,
Okay, you can sometimes stick your wood inside of me.
You always give me these dirty, nasty. Okay, you gotta say it again slowly. I'm hardly hearing. Huh?
Okay, I got you. You can sometimes stick your wood inside of me.
Ooh. I'm going to the bathroom, y'all. I'll be right back.
You should warm me up first before you stick it in.
I got it.
What am I?
A burrito?
You putting your wood in a burrito?
Hey.
Here we go with the last clue. You go up and down when my shaft goes in and out.
Good Lord.
Both of us screamed out. One for Mr. Carter and one for Denise. Hey, after your panties are wet, you really need me.
Lord have mercy.
Period.
And
She sure hooked on periods, ain't she?
I got it.
Leave me alone.
Bono doesn't use his.
Who the heck is Bono?
Okay, let's go over to Mr. Carter.
I don't know why, because I can't see me getting. So Potters was Harry.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Wait a minute, Mr. Potters was Harry. Hold on, Groundhog.
And K. Dwight, you can stick your hot salami in me.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh.
Yes,
say,
you can
say
have
it one more time, Spicy. Say it real
slow.
Say it real slow. I can't even hear.
You can stick your hot salami in me.
Yes. Yes.
It's the voice for me.
Just a little bit about your movie and how you came up with Fatal Betrayal.
You need to understand that and listen. And don't you ever forget it.
Bobby, you gonna quit smacking on me. I ain't that little boy no more, man. I'm gonna start with this guy that just smacked me in the head. Bobby Mack, Diamond D. Paris. We just kind of gravitated.
That Britton is such a great writer, man. He made it so easy and so comfortable for me out there, on set. And man, you guys, man, look forward to some amazing storylines.
You're just like a gumbo pot. I mean, I went to your page and it's just like you into everything. Do you have anything else that you trying to reach for after working with Mr. Britton in this movie here?
I always say that opportunity is like a room with no walls.
Wow. The memories. Let's start off with, grown men talking. I mean, to me, it's supposed to be temporary because as everybody knew, I was trying to, focus on getting my third book finished because I was like, I got to focus. I got to get off TikTok. I got to get this thing done. And the only way I'm going to get it done is to get off of the social media. But when it came down to it, I sit there and I was like, okay, I really don't want to stop all the way around because there's times I've been gone for 7 months. There's times it's almost a year and I didn't want to do that because when I came back, I worked so hard as a team with everyone to try to get us back out there to let them know, hey, we back, So, I was talking in a meeting with Dwight and it was like, okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and just have the men come on. And he's like, no hesitation. Let's do it. He said, yeah, I like that. I said, but what we going to title it? He was coming up with names. I was sitting up there thinking. And the next thing, he said something with men in the barbershop or man in the room or something like that. I said, how about grown men talking? He said, I like that. And I sit there and I said, yeah, let's do it. That way I can go ahead and just focus on my book. So when you found out about Grown Men Talking, when you said we was finna bring this panel man through, what came to your mind?
I was like, finally, we get to put it out there without having them kick us off the air. You know what I'm saying? No, but seriously, at some points I thought, oh, we getting ready to get ousted. But it was a great show, great concept. It gave us an opportunity to talk about exactly what it says, grown men talking. You know, we don't always have a barbershop to go to talk about some things. We don't, we needed a platform where we could talk about sensitive issues that involve women and give them the real, like the one that we had, the Thrill Is Gone. Of course, I got into so much trouble with that. It seemed like every woman from my past was like, so the thrill was gone. I was like, come on, man. You know what I mean? But that was it gave us an opportunity to really like jail together as men and let women that were watching know what we go through. Because, we're not unemotional. We go through emotional periods. And we care and we express it just in different ways. And I think sometimes we have to remind, our female counterparts that, we get emotional. We have things on our mind. We just express it much more differently. And it's not that we do it in an aggressive manner. We express it through us going to the barbershop talking about it, or going to play ball and just overdoing it and those type, and me myself personally, shoot, I done express mine by sitting back just crying in my beer, so to speak, because I didn't have an outlet. I didn't have anywhere to talk about this woman getting on my nerves or this or that, and that's what we need to do. We need to be able to throw it out there so we can get some help, because we're not always right.
And see, that was the way I was thinking as well, because, people say, oh, you just try to defend the man. No, I'm not. I go for what's right, whether you're a man or woman. But my thing is that, a lot of us women, we do this too much and we're not doing this. Mm-hmm. And I felt like having a man's platform, it will give the men the opportunity to be heard, to where women could sit back and watch and say, okay, I see where he's coming from. And with this platform of men, I feel like this is what we was offering to them. Mm-hmm. And to see the outcome of that, it only supposed to be for the month of September. That's it. Because October was domestic violence month. It supposed to only been for September.
Right.
And right when I was getting ready to say, okay, that's it, I was getting responses. I was getting DMs. I got emails. I was like, wow, okay. Mm-hmm. Like, are you gonna keep them on? No, you should keep them on. They doing real good. We like the way they talk. And believe it or not, it was a lot of women that was giving these reviews and responses. They was loving how the men was stepping in. Mm-hmm. Now, you have your little some that will disagree. And I was like, okay, I see what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But, at the end of the day, it's just like criticism. If you can't accept the criticism, you'll never grow.
That's right.
Just a minute, we got a phone call. The Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. What you got for us?
Hey! How y'all doing?
We are fabulous, Denise. Hi, love. Everyone, our assistant host, Denise.
I knew it.
I gotta call and check on y'all.
Just do that to see my reaction.
I have to call and check on y'all. Y'all doing a wonderful job. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
What's up, T?
And you too, Mr. Brandon. I'm just playing. You're not gonna mess with you.
Yeah, but
you're not gonna mess with you a little bit.
Yeah, since we got you on the phone, what would you say in your experience through 2023 with the Unspoken Heart as being part of, because you came from just a motivational speaker to assistant co-host, and now you're the assistant host. So with your experience, how have it been for you?
It was fun. It's fun. It's actually, I like to ruffle a few tail feathers and stuff like that. And it's so much fun to do so. And people, they get a little bit of the sweet side, and they get a little bit of the rough side, and I might be hated by some, but loved by many. But it's all fun.
We are very blessed to have you on, and I hope you're enjoying the memory, because
I do.
because we finally gonna come up with the other video, because we actually have 4, so we're gonna come up with we're gonna get ready to play the 4th one, with a third one. So
the third one.
Yeah, so the 4th one's really going to touch. But I really want to say thank you for being a part of the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. You have been a very seasonal person on here, and I have no regrets in saying come aboard.
Oh, well, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. I can't wait for us to do the ladies' table.
Oh my God!
You blew the surprise.
It's on popping. It's on popping.
Surprise! Yes, with that phone mouth. Hey, I was gonna be on that phone, right?
Yeah, I know you are. And you can't be doing revenge. Yeah, the men's show, the men's grown men talking. That was the best idea yet, and y'all do a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. On Just Society, I do a great insight on what the men's perspective is and stuff. It's really putting insight. Maybe some ladies out there will learn from watching the show and stuff like that. And I think it's a wonderful thing. Now it's our turn.
Thank you, Denise, for calling in. We really appreciate you, and we love you.
Love y'all too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
Yes. Love it. That was Denise. And before we go to break, she already ruined the surprise. So yes, every 3 months we decided, because when we was like, what about us? We will be, it won't check. We ain't changing no names. We're not adding an extra platform, because I got enough with my hands tied with, doing and formatting everything for the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour and Grown Men Talking. So, y'all don't know yet, but unless I, already, he already told some people, but, Dwight Robinson, next year, God bless, he will be taking over ownership of the Grown Men Talking Incorporated. So he's been going through the training, setting things up, and he's excited about it. So I want to say I'm so proud of y'all, man. From Mr. Jones, King D, Mr. Robinson, and y'all have really brought what we needed out of Grown Men Talking Incorporated, and I am so proud of y'all. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead on to the next one, which I'm telling you, keep watching, because this is, I love it. It's just too nice. All right.
I'll say this: Texas got the best dancers. I'm telling y'all. Now, your story can help somebody that might be going through the same thing with the domestic violence and everything. And I kind of want you to just, take your time and tell us a little bit about the things that you've been through, and maybe your testimony will help somebody.
At a very young age, I experienced abuse. A woman's car, I like snapped, like I clicked. I done dealt with abuse. My son is in the hospital. This why you can't come to the hospital. And so, there was a knife in the car. I still deal with. I cry every holiday for no reason. I don't even know why. Honestly, I pray, and I have to pray over my partner. I have to pray over me. I have to pray over decisions that I make. I'll get upset.
And here to show you what she's all about, no other than Nikita.
Hey.
Oh God, I get so emotional because I know where they're coming from, the root of everything, and to overcome that fight, it's not easy.
Nay, right? But she would always come back. I always had the bag in the corner because we was always leaving. So that particular day, I was thinking, he stopped my mother. I came out of the room and he stopped my mother. He said, Renee, Nay, put that bag down. And she said, no, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you fighting on me. I'm leaving. Me and Nikita leaving. My mom grabbed me and we ran out the door.
Wow. Yeah, that was actually a month after we started the Grown Men Talking. And every year we try to give the women and men the opportunity to break their silence, because in breaking the silence, it brings another level of healing within your life and allowing you to gain strength and control of your own emotions. Now, before we get to Nikita's part, when it came down to Destiny, what was your feeling when you heard her story?
Oh my God. That was a horror story. A story of horror and resilience, nothing but resilience, miracle. To really be here today and intact, So yeah, I was like this, how much of this do we have to endure in our world? You know what I mean? It quickly made, it made me want to reach out, as I did to all of them. I wanted to reach out and just hold them and say it's gonna be okay. I was kind of shook up. That's how I felt, to be honest.
Yes, and this is one thing, I've heard stories even from people on my job to where they have no compassion for somebody in domestic violence. They have no education about it. And you cannot say what you would deal with, what you would go through, unless you actually walked in those shoes.
That's right.
And I had ignorance on my job and face ignorance in the world to where they victimize the victim. Instead of saying, why did she stay? Why did she put up with this? Why did she endure for so long? Why don't you step up and say, why did he put his hands on her?
That's right.
Why did he take her life? Why he didn't show her what true love really felt like? It's sad. Because even speaking in the community, as I have, you know, to realize how many people in this world have put this on the backyard burner. Many people have kept it silent for too long. To where now you have people as myself that's saying enough is enough. We're not putting up with it no more. And to see everything, because Destiny, you know, y'all have to go back and watch, you know, the show on her with domestic violence, but to actually see and hear everything she went through as such a young, beautiful woman, and to actually feel, you know, how she have took those chains and broke them and said, I will not take this anymore.
That's right.
Just was just so astonishing. And not just within that, but to see how she took her scars and wounds and she transformed them into something great, as becoming a choreographer, as becoming a hairstylist, braider, you know, loving on her children and putting them first, you know, and doing more. And I was so proud of her when she stepped up and contacted us to break her silence. And she chose us to break her silence. And she doesn't know how that meant so much to me. To have a woman just to say, I need to tell my story. Because we have been quiet so long, afraid of what people would say, how people would come at us, how they would judge us. But see, one thing that people don't realize, being a victim of abuse, if you never, ever, and I'm gonna tell you, I realize this from experience from one person in my not family, relatives. But if you do not get the help that you need and you continue to abide with your abuser, you can transform into a person of a victim stance to that person that is actually an abuser.
Perpetrator, yeah.
Please, please, I beg of y'all, because I see it happening for the one that did not get no help, to where she's abusive towards her own children, verbally, mentally, and even trying to destroy them. And you have to look and say, if she just would have got that help and got away from that abuser.
Right. You're absolutely right. And just to add to that, Spicy Up, you know, I was sitting here thinking as you were talking, we definitely provide a vessel of hope. But in doing so, and when you know, this thing here, you can't let it go untreated. You know what I'm saying? You got to speak out, because what happens is now you carry that baggage from that abuse over into your next relationship.
Exactly.
And you know, it becomes it's a thing called male abuse, right? So, and I've been a victim of that. You know, where the woman felt as though, you know, based on what had happened to her, that every man now that she comes in contact with, she has to come at him with that same aggression, that's all those behaviors, because she's still mad at her abuser, and it went untreated. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't work on it. And most of us men, you know, we don't look at that when it's happening. So now the friction is there. And now you can't, the relationship stays stagnant if it continues to exist at all. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so we definitely have to, you know, give Spicy a hand, because this allows us to tell you that it's all right to talk about it.
Yes. You know, and I gotta say, you know, because even in, you know, I didn't know what my father was trying to do with me as he was molding me, because ones don't realize the Unspoken Heart book was not supposed to be the first one. Well, it wasn't in my plan, but it was in my plan to have the Heart and Heart released first, which was the memoirs. And I guess my father said it's not time. So, you know, I had to do the 2 first books before he actually said, okay, now it's time. But it wasn't time for the Heart and Heart because he wanted me to step up and say, okay, you're going to step from here. I need you to come from your childhood first. And in doing this, you know, because people was like, you going to really air that? I said, one thing you got to understand, and I seen what my father was trying to do. He wanted me to reach people through the true existence in a poetic style. And what the Unspoken Heart has done, I cannot do anything but thank God for the trophies, the awards, the acknowledgement from that one book first. So when I say he knew what he was doing, he knew what he's doing. To where people were drawn in to listen. I didn't get my joy from the awards. I got my joy when somebody escaped from abuse. When we able to come together as a community, that's why I fight. And it hurts when the multitude doesn't come in. When we have the donation events for the battered women children's shelter. Because that's our way of supporting them and saying we're proud of that you escaped and we do care. So that's why I formed the Christmas, you know, raffles and, you know, to donate for the Pampers. And I mean, I thank y'all and I thank God because if you go back in history with my pages, you'll see how the boxes just overflowed with toys for the children in there, purple purses with things inside for the women. How y'all did for, you know, feet in the streets. You know, to help me to get out there and actually help people. Because that's where my love is at. And then when I called on for the baby wipes and Pampers and bottles, that truck was so full to where I had to ask for help. And help me in another vehicle. This community has came together and I am so proud of y'all. And I thank y'all for just having faith in me, standing with me and, you know, loving on them as well as you have loved on me. You just don't know how much that really truly means. Now, moving on to Nikita, which is an interesting part. And that's my baby. But Nikita came from the side as a child as, you know, I wrote in my book, because we tend to miss that one part. They don't just get abused as adults.
That's right.
But they've, you know, people say, well, she never was touched. How is she abused? Mentally, emotionally, when they witness it.
Right.
They are being exposed to abuse that causes trauma to their own path. And this is why I am so grateful to my father to where I brought You Hurt, I Hurt. Now the twist in that you'll find in the Heart and Heart. But I wanted to give the opportunity for people to listen from a child standpoint of actually witnessing that. But see, not just witnessing it, but you also go to see how this man was towards me and why. And that's what I love about Nikita. She came from the side to where she was able to express how it affected her to see her mother go through this.
Right.
Now, when you seen that with Nikita and how she told her story with her mother and her dad and then the outcome of it, what went through your mind?
Warrior princess. You know, in fact, many that we brought on the show that had the same situations, you know, had been strong. But for this one here, Nikita, oh my God, she is. You know, we talk about the movie. What was it, Warrior Queen, or what it was with Viola Davis. That's the picture I get in my mind when I think of her. You know, she's a true queen and a true warrior, and you know that's, you know, and I just thought how commendable it is that she gets to wake up every day and bless us with showing us the road to forgiveness. Because see, one thing you got to do when you're faced with trauma, at least I say you have to do it because I had to, and that was to find a way to forgive the things I couldn't do nothing about. You know, so when we in those domestic situations, whether it's with our parents, watching them, or, you know, or we having it actually perpetrated on us, you know what I'm saying? Some stuff we just can't do nothing about, but we hold ourselves responsible for it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And what I love about Nikita, and we might not talk every day, but when it comes down to it, we know where we each other's at, and it's just like loving two sisters loving each other no matter what. Nothing, I thank God that nothing came between us because in her journey, he placed her in my life, for more than one reason.
That's right.
And I didn't realize because some people sit there and see, and I didn't realize that how people could be so oblivious that things like this cannot affect a child all the way to adulthood. And when she formed together an event called Her Journey and Her Journey Too, to where these women came out and they got to either sing or, speak in poetry or tell their story. And she gave this platform for women to come. And when it came to Nikita, she was actually reenacting another part as a child.
Right.
With the pastor and what he's done to her. And to actually have her in my arms before she actually stepped that stage, because people didn't understand that this still bothers her.
That's right.
It's not something that goes away.
Not at all.
But to see her on that floor and reenact that part when she was a child, it touched me so deep. And even though it was on two different levels, I know what that abuse felt like. Because she was done as a child. I was done as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
To where it affected me to where I wasn't supposed to have children. But I thank God because he made a way to where I was able to have them, but I just couldn't have them naturally. But to stick in mind and it still be an emotion. It's not saying that we're crazy. We get all the help we can, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't still bother us.
That's right.
And to see how she has stepped forward in the community and still speaking in a poetic style, still push forward. Because this was the first time she broke her silence in telling her story. And to even see, I witnessed her the way she sing, and the girl could blow. But when she's singing not just from the gut, from here, and you could feel it. For a woman to have gone through everything she went through and come out as strong as she have and still have the heart to want to love people, to support them, to embrace them. Not one time was she a jealous person or envious of anyone. If anything, she was that cheerleader or she had her hand out to help.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her for that. So if anything, she's an example just like Destiny.
That's right.
That you can escape. You can transform your life to become something great.
Right.
To feel these women's strength and how they took control of their life. I am so, so proud of them. And I thank God for his placement in their life. Now, we're going to go to the next memory lane. So, y'all just watch this.
Yeah, Mr. T-Bone, are you in the studio, sir?
I am, sir. How's everybody doing?
Welcome.
It's really and truly based around helping other people. But some people, think that they have a business and they can't, help motivate, inspire, and uplift others. So I also do that. I constantly do that. Let them know that you can have a business and also uplift and motivate, and encourage other businesses to help each other.
Evening. Could you tell everyone a little bit about your business?
Well, I do natural skincare products, so it's like turmeric soaps, bath bombs, sugar scrubs, face masks, and things of that nature.
Unisex.
These are for men and women. They're all natural. They're more of a healthy lifestyle, like tea tree, peppermint.
Now, you know, a lot, since you have all these beauty supplies, do you have things that will help people as they age, such as wrinkles and everything?
Yes, I have a turmeric soap for like acne, hyperpigmentation, wrinkles, and things like that. If you have soft skin, if you have like eczema or sensitive skin, I have my oatmeal bars.
Mouse pads, and just custom pillows, air fresheners. It's just a lot that we do for the people. As you can see with those right there, they're not your average ones that you see in Walmart. They always had a heart, for people, helping people. We do a lot of things, but like I stated, most of my things is for people. We love helping people, man. It's just based around helping people. It's just all genuine love. Appreciate y'all having me on the show, man. It was a magnificent opportunity, man.
Oh yes,
Appreciate
yes.
y'all, man.
Oh, nothing but love, much love. That's what we all about here. Nothing but
Well,
love.
we try to,
People get on here and think that it's easy, but it's not, because you guys
yes,
pictures and all this and do y'all magic, and then you present it to the world. So I applaud you guys. Respect
thank you
daily.
Oh yeah.
But what the song means to me is sometimes we think that we're everything that a person desire, but we have the right plan for the wrong man.
What type of man do you look for? What's get you? I mean, your type of man is I guess in personality, looks, height.
That look.
Honestly, I'm single and I'm not looking.
So, Maserati, number one. I wanted to ask you all show, how did you come up with Maserati? I know how you got the red part, but the Maserati. Can you tell me about that?
What do you think about when you think about a Maserati? It's a luxury.
Hand it back over to Dwight. In writing, is there a certain setting that you have to be in and a certain aura you got to have around you in order to get deep in thought in writing your stuff?
You can piss me off and I can write a song.
So, out of all the songs that you have written, which one is your favorite one and why?
Make Up Your Mind, because it gives me the church feel, but I can express myself too.
Love it, love it. Wow. Now, going on to the business owners, because like I said, we like to expand to the real world, giving everybody opportunity to share their accomplishment. Because the one thing that we do complain about a lot, on social media is how people don't support and love one another and how they try to tear each other down. To see people like T-Bone and Bare Beauties on here, what was your feeling towards them? Because I was very proud of them to want to find different avenues in order to bring a service to the community.
Hey, listen, I thought that was admirable. When we go back, we got away from some of the older, how we used to operate in sales and that type of thing back in the day, with our fathers and whatnot. They got out on their grind. They had to get out on their grind. And what he exhibited there was the fact that, he was genius enough to come up with something that he was going to make happen. And his cause and his reasoning, his whole rationale for doing it was this, it was remarkable. It was actually a flash from the past. And we tend to overlook it because we're so everything is so modernized and whatnot. You think it has to be that it has to equate with big companies. This brother here did what Madam C.J. Walker did, and all the other inventors and business people that we had. It's people like that that helped to build Black Wall Street.
Perfectly said. Yeah, because I mean, even with Bare Beauties, you know, we as you know, even African Americans, we have a hard time finding certain products that is, you know, that won't damage or tear out our hair to destroy our complexion, you know, the health wise and everything. And what she have done and her showing exactly how she make it. That's what I love about her and how she operated. Excuse me, because she's not just on you know TikTok, but she's on social media, Instagram.
Right.
And she actually takes you into her lab where she's actually making these from home and
Right.
showing you the different things that she's putting in it that's all natural and how she mixes it up. But not just that. The one thing you never heard of is the person actually using it and showing you that they use it on themselves in order for you to see if I trust it, trust me. Whatever I put on me, that's what I want you to put on you because I know it's safe and it's
That's right.
healthy for you. So, you know, I really appreciate them coming on with their business and everything. And I pray that God will bless them in abundance to prosper, you know, in their journey with their own business. Because it's not easy. Because even me having my business with everything under the umbrella, it's a lot of work. And people don't understand. Well, what you doing up so late? Baby, I'm working. If I go to sleep,
Right.
ain't nothing gonna get done.
That's right.
You know, once I move, you know, then, you know, and expand the studio, you know, maybe then I'm gonna get assistance because the assistance that I use is, you know, my children and then people that volunteer in the community because we don't make money. We work off of donations. The lot came out my pocket, but my thing is even community service that the judges hand over them to come do community service to me with me. Those are where a lot of the help come in at. But to say that, oh, that our business is this small, because that's the one thing I despise and it gets to my nerve when you can refer to somebody's gift as, oh, that little old. No, there's nothing little about a big blessing that God molded inside of you to do. You know, only because we're not singers or rappers or millionaires up there that did computer services doesn't mean we're not important.
That's right. That's right.
So, going on from then, we had Miss Maserati.
Maserati Reset.
Yes. You know, we have had As Yet on. We had two members from As Yet on. We had Lady Bang on. We had other well-known artists. And I could say the interview, because we also in the works. I've been introduced to I don't know if you remember Elle and Chico DeBarge.
Yeah.
Their sister, I'm supposed to be having a meeting with her, corroborating her soon to bring her on. But we have had a lot of well-known people on here, and it's been a joy in having them. But I cannot say I ain't had that much fun as I had with Maserati.
Maserati. Hey, Maserati, like, our lightweight was getting ready to go at it, and Maserati was like, what you think of? When you think of Maserati, I'm like, You know what I'm saying? Maserati was trying to start some stuff.
But see, I like the way she did it. When she did it, she just like, just so you can understand where she's coming from. She's very confident in who she is, how she stands, and what she does. And
she is.
The respect is that she gets everything that she does in her path in
and
honor of her father.
That's right. That's right.
Her heavenly father.
And she was talking about, of course, and being from Mississippi, I remember her story, and and she's a champion.
Yes.
True champion. In fact, we talked about possibly doing some things here real soon. And if you're watching this, Mozzie, I hadn't forgotten. It's not on the back burner. I'm on this mission, and I got you. But she's an exceptional talent. You know what I'm saying? Exceptional talent, and she works for God. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
she lets you know that she works for God. You know what I'm saying? Gorgeous, courageous, you know what I'm saying?
Funny, down to
Funny
earth.
as can be. Call me up, checking me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
you know,
I love it.
So I do too. I love it, and I look forward to seeing you real soon. Mozzie, Happy New Year.
And that's one thing I can say, because it was so cute, but it was funny. Because she had called me one time, and that was during the time to where you got the things mixed up. Because she was like, she laughing, and she's like, spicy. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, she told me about the conversation. And she's like, he told me, he asked you ready? He said, yeah, I'm ready whenever you're ready. All right, I'm on my way. And then he hung up. And she was like, she said, Spice, I need you to catch Mr. Britton because I don't know who he going to meet. But she said, it ain't me.
I think I was on my way to a shoot a scene. Yeah, I was. I was on my way to shoot. And, you know, and I'm just running, as you expressed earlier. You know how it is when you're trying to get your show together and everything. It's so much that, you know, that's on our plate. And I was everywhere. And being in Atlanta with the traffic, chaotic, you know, yeah. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Her and Honey sound alike.
Really? You think so? Honey don't.
I think so. I think it was that.
Well, Honey don't have that country talk. She don't have that. It's probably aggressive.
No, she didn't have. It wasn't
the stern. I think it was the sternness in their voice.
Right.
Tone.
That's what I said. It was the aggressiveness. It
yes.
Was like, I'm like, who talking to me like this?
But I had to call Honey that day. I said, "Girl, are you ready to laugh?" She's like, "What?" And when I told her we couldn't do no, I said, "He think he come to meet you." It was so funny. But, you know, we didn't have so many different personalities on here, and it's been such a joy. But let's look at this last one and, you know, see if we can bring some laughter back on.
She said, run as fast as you can. You know I'm broke, ain't got no man, but I need that 40 in my hand, and I ain't gonna call you back again. It's Friday, Monday morning.
Okay.
Name something.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop. How she get to name something? Come on now. Don't you have to have somebody going against it? Whoever presses first gets the category. I watch Jeopardy. Look, me and Steve Harvey got a thing. So I watch that all the time. Hey, it's too late.
Don't worry about it. It's over.
Jones, I'm coming for you. Don't worry. I'm gonna give my comment about the other things. You just wait.
Name something an insecure man.
Toilet tissue.
I know the number one answer.
Tissue.
The ladies win that round.
Hey, that's cold.
It was a shot.
I was gonna say a breath mint.
Hey, don't you know 3 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds to answer that question? I don't hear no clock. I don't hear no clock ticking.
Even though he'd give you gifts, name a reason you wouldn't want to date Santa.
Because he only work one day out of the year.
I said run.
You wouldn't want to date Santa.
It's just, I'm just joking.
Now, see that? I thought lady said it don't matter the man's old way. See, y'all be judging men on their appearance.
It's a survey.
No. You're wrong for that.
How do I listen? My type is tall, dark, and handsome. So he's none of the above.
Don't be describing me.
The reason I wouldn't we not he stink.
Oh man. That's messed up.
I didn't know Santa Claus stank.
Santa can stink. He smells really spicy.
I'm a man. How long date Santa for?
He can still date him if he wasn't a woman.
Okay. What?
Oh.
Did you just shoot the figure at me, Mr. Robinson?
Who, me?
No. Did you just shoot the figure at me?
No.
Oh my goodness.
What's the answer, spicy?
This close. to answer the question.
Spicy, I got a question though.
Yes.
Would one of the answers happen to be because he be breaking in people's house?
She didn't say the ghetto Santa.
Look,
Where do you say in these videos? Listen, you can't sum everybody up into one totality.
You better say that again.
Just because that you've been misused by that dude because you jumped in the bed with him on the first night don't mean that's what's gonna happen with me.
Better say it again.
He's a professional
Mr.
goofy.
Jones.
What the hell, Mr. Jones go?
Mr. Jones.
Okay, for the still. You just accidentally emailed a naked picture of yourself to all of your contacts. What do you do now?
You're welcome.
I'm kind of getting emotional. Make sure, I really appreciate everyone out there that has tuned in with us and joining us on this memory lane. It was a lot of work. And, I found myself laughing because I was like, dang, I didn't realize how many funny moments we had and, touching moments of bonding. And when I look at each one of them on the platform, we are truly a family. And I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. But I love each one of y'all and what y'all have done on here and how we have bonded together. Because even in 2023, it has been such a joyous moment in how we grew and just caught on to each other's personality, characters, and loved on one another. And, you can't say that about a lot of platforms because we don't consider ourselves just a podcast. You're not just a cast to me. You're my family. And it's hard to find that in people that has a mind as my cast do. And I love each and one of y'all. And I thank y'all so much for what y'all have brought here. And I'm going to tell you, when it came down to it, it was actually me and Dwight that came up with Family Game Day. Because coming from domestic violence, we was like, okay, we need to lift this up, brighten this up. And we was like, why don't we do a game day? So I got on Amazon. I was like, what you think about this? I love it. I love it. So once a month we do game day and I have fun with it. I love what y'all bring to it. I love how y'all do your answers to, just having fun. It is like, this is our family moment, just like soul food. What is your feeling of when you when we come together as one, bringing grown men talking and the Unspoken Heart discussion hour together just to have a game day?
I love it. I love it, but I got to give you this though, Spicy, because you know how I feel about these game days. The fact that we come together, cool. But this is my mood when you be talking game day. It's like I can't win, I can't get an answer right, none of that. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't watch every game show imaginable, everything. You put out a game called Dirty Minds or something. Well, I thought that was right up my alley because I got a dirty mind. And it's like, I can't even get the dirty part right. What's going on, Spicy? Y'all got it rigged. You, Denise, Keisha, y'all got it rigged. The women done rigged it.
We do not care.
Y'all crazy.
Yes, but no, it's not rigged. Because you got to remember the first game we had, Mr. Jones actually won the $60.
Yeah.
Unless he got that feminine side, you know what I'm saying? And I know I'm gonna get that phone call. But yeah, but I mean, I love it because we know when it gets serious. Then we have our minds to where there's times to where we disagree. And what I love about it, we might be here on this panel and we disagree with something that another may say, but then we come back together.
Oh yeah, we cool.
And we love each other. And they some people might say, oh, they must don't like it. No, we love each other. Because we'll get back, because a lot of people, what they don't know, when we get backstage and the show is over, we back there cracking jokes and laughing, and we still carrying on. There's times that we've been on here to, I think the last time was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Just having a great time. And it's been such a blessing, and that's what I call it. It's a blessing to me because I never ever could imagine that this would have grown to the way it have in progress and touched so many lives across the world. And I didn't realize how far we was reaching until we had the first poetry contest. And the young lady that reached out to me, she was actually in South Africa. And I was like, South Africa? I said, you see me over there? And she's like, yes, ma'am. And she said, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but like, we see you. And she actually was an inspiration to us as well because she won one of the categories on there. And she spoke from the domestic violence there in Africa. And it was so touching. And believe it or not, she still reaches out to me. She's in school. She's getting ready to graduate. She's moving on to writing more. She's in the community speaking, and she's still writing. And I am so proud of her.
Beautiful.
In that sense, she won the award from the Powerful Poet Contest. And so, here we go again. We're getting ready to come up for another Powerful Poet, our 3rd year. So I'm anxious to see the outcome on that one. Because, let's see what the judge is going to do with it then. Because like I say, to me, it was like baby stuff because it was new to me. And, I know the first year, people was pouring in and it was experience because I've never threw up actually contest for poetry. I write poetry. I've seen poetry. I engage in it. But I could say by the second year, we had it. And, the judging went great. So, in saying that, this has been a wonderful memory. And it's just like saying, we getting ready to step in, God bless, to 2024. And I'm praying for the abundance of blessings of everyone and the growth of the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour and the venturing off to Dwight Robinson of the Grown Men Talking Incorporated. They'll still be on the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. It's just Spicy Cat. It takes me the full week, every day of the week, all the way late doing both shows. So he be handing over. I still be assisting him like with the commercials and stuff until he catches on. But Dwight brings a great flavor, and I thank God for him because he was the root that started off everything and assisted me with the show. And I truly thank God for him, and along with the other cast. And like I said, we locked in. So before we head out, I'm allow you to give in his last days of this year the nourishment of the day.
Why not? Thank you. Be my honor. So, with all sincerity, coming from the most sincerest corners of my heart, I ask each and every one of us to realize that what happened yesterday, we got to leave back yesterday. If it happened last year, come 12 o'clock, and it changes into 24, leave that stuff in 23 back there at 23. Let's try to move on. One of the things One of the things that stands out most that my father always said, boy, you need to be doing something a whole lot different than you did last year. Don't be caught doing the same thing this next year that we did this past year. So, prosper. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself, love one another. Just love somebody and be all right with yourself.
And saying that, I truly appreciate from the heart all y'all that tuned in with us down this memory lane. And I truly hope that you enjoyed us today. We went well over an hour, but it was all in fun. We had to get it in there. And, when it comes down to saying goodbye, I won't say goodbye. I will say see you later, because 2023 went by so fast. It's like we just blinked a couple of times and here we are again. But I pray that my Father protects y'all, guides y'all, leads y'all down the path of blessings so that you could be prosperous. And just like he said, if you're going to stay stuck from last year, you know that you are not going to grow.
That's right.
If you want to grow and be blessed, whatever happened in 2023, life is too short. Leave it in 23. Y'all have a blessed one.
Hey, before you go, I wanted them to see this. Get a load of that. So that's a movie that I did. It's called The Devil on Earth, and it just came out tonight. It's on Prime, and it's going to be on Tubi.
Yes, congratulations. Y'all go check that out. Give him a review. I am so proud of him. He got that movie coming out and he's working on another one. And so I can't wait, because maybe I'm going to be in one of those movies. We'll see. I don't know. But, y'all be blessed. Know that we love you. Continue to put God first in your life. And remember, if anything above everything, know that God loves you, but also love yourself.